Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Almost Spicy podcast. Today, our guest, Tommy Hill. Give it a little applause.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the pod, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Francisco, DJ back on my bullshit.
Tis I, DJ back on my bullshit.
And I DJ on my bullshit.
And you are a DJ,
I am.
but you're a lot of different things.
I do wear a lot of creative hats. Yeah, I work as a photographer and I work as a graphic designer as well.
Bet.
So yeah, just kind of dabbling in my creativity right now in life. So it's been fun. But
Sweet.
I love DJing out here in Minneapolis. It's a good time.
Fuck yeah. That's how we met, is through you DJing some of these EDM events like the backyard. What's it called? Boombox Backyard?
Yeah, Backyard Boombox.
Backyard
I think that's
Boombox.
where we first met. Was
Definitely,
at the Bauhaus one when it was like the
Yeah.
summertime. Yeah.
In the summertime, dude.
We were just dancing, having a good time. I was
Bro,
like, this
oh
guy's
God.
cool. We
Yeah.
just started talking.
The vibes.
Yeah, and then you told me about the podcast, and now we're here.
Now we're here 6 months later.
On God,
Or whatever
it's
it
awesome.
is. Dude, but yeah, man. We'll just get into it, man. We'll get these questions off. I gotta look at my list. Should we touch current events first? Or what do you want?
I mean, that's usually what you want to do. So yeah. We can talk about current events. There's not really any great current events though.
Did we talk about the CEO shooting?
Yeah,
We did.
yeah.
We gotta talk about that more.
Nah, I don't think we need to touch on it more. I think we covered our bases.
How was Christmas for you? Did it feel like Christmas this time around for you? Are you? I was gonna ask how old you are.
I'm 26.
Okay, cool.
26 years old, yeah.
Sick. And people were saying that Christmas didn't feel like Christmas this year. How did you feel?
I think, sometimes leading up to the holidays, like, it could be really stressful with, like, the shopping and just wrapping things up at work and getting gifts for people. But once it comes to the time of getting together with family, it's really important, and just celebrating the holiday of what it is and the birth of our Lord and Savior, and I think that's really awesome. I'm a very religious person, so
you're a Christian, which is specific?
Non-denominational. I just
Okay.
I grow in my faith and like my relationship with Christ. So
Okay.
so I think that's really awesome, and it's a beautiful time to celebrate with family. And I mean, Christmas for me this year was just weird because I was sick. So like I woke up just like super ill.
It's that
Christmas
norovirus
Eve,
going around.
I swear, and it just hit me like super heavy Christmas
man.
Eve. But I was able to see the fam, and then Christmas Day I was just dying.
Wrecked?
But I don't know. I kind of just like kept my distance from the family, but I was still there, present. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
really nice. So
That's good.
I had a good
man.
time with them.
And so you've read the Bible a lot.
Yeah, I mean, still currently reading the Bible, trying to like dive back in. I could honestly say I could be doing a better job at that,
Of reading
but
the Bible, yeah.
just with
It's a big
with life,
book.
it's a huge book, and
Yeah.
so there's a lot of different knowledge in there, and like it could get kind of intense. But as much as I want to dive into it, I try to spend as much time in diving into the Word and learning from it. So
There's
yeah.
a lot in there to learn.
Is there like a specific like favorite part of the Bible that you have? Like from what you've read thus far?
From what I've read thus far, I don't know. Just hearing the story of Jesus is just how human he was, just like us, but came down to this earth and lived life. Times have changed from back then when he was alive until now, but
They
just hearing that story,
they have and they haven't. Like there's
Yeah.
the face of technology and everything else, but like
face of technology is kind of where I was coming at. Yeah,
Yeah, but I'd say for the most part it's pretty much the same.
sure,
We just don't stone people. That's the only thing.
right.
But we do like
And I guess-
through other ways, right?
And I guess that is like, you brought that up, is like, I guess my favorite story from the Bible is when, Jesus was, I can't remember it fully, but, Jesus was walking to this town, and these people were throwing stones at this prostitute, and he picked up the stone and said, whoever has not sinned, like, can throw my stone, Or no, he dropped his stone.
Yeah.
I can't remember it fully, but like,
Whoever has not sinned can throw it.
well, yeah, whoever has not sinned can throw my first stone at this lady.
And nobody can
And
throw
no one,
it.
yeah, because everyone's a sinner, He's just kind of
Yeah.
calling everyone out on
Right.
their BS. So yeah,
I'll get back to the Christmas thing. But what do you think about this Jesus being an alien theory?
Jesus being an alien theory.
Yeah, have you ever heard
I haven't
this?
heard of this.
You haven't
No.
heard this? I mean, if you think about some of the stuff that he was doing, potentially supernatural, potentially with the water to wine, some of the bread body stuff. I mean, walking on water, like obvious, but then claiming to be human. You know, there's theory that there's aliens that were involved in the creation of the human species, and we're like a hybrid of different alien races and etc. So, have you ever looked into any of that stuff?
I haven't. No, I just accept Jesus who he is and what I've learned from him of what
You
he
know
is.
what?
You know?
I saw a
But
meme.
yeah,
It was like, how can you not believe in Jesus when he's like technically the most documented man
facts.
of all time? Whether or not some religions don't see him as the savior, etc. But it's like it was pretty well documented, I guess, according to one meme that I saw.
For sure. For sure. Yeah.
And I asked the Christmas thing because it was like this. You said it, like buying gifts and all this. Have you seen some of the consumerism, affect people? Like, do you think that globalization and like all these products that we buy, does that take away from the meaning of the holidays and being with family and stuff? Like gifts are nice and stuff. But,
Yeah, I'd say yes or no. Yes and no, because like, I think as humans we kind of we can become attached to these material things, and it can control our lives. But at the same time, it's awesome to give towards people that you do love.
It feels good.
It feels great to
Especially
give
if you can
and
and
receive.
everything.
If you can, sometimes it could be like an expensive gift or a really thoughtful gift, and
Right.
I think that's like what matters most is just giving towards those who you love. Or maybe it's not a gift, maybe it's a donation or like a gift that keeps on giving throughout the year, or giving back to the community. I think that's really important as well.
It makes me think about like teaching. Like teaching is something you can give to somebody, like a
Sure.
skill or something that they could do forever. There's a lot of ways, to give to your community and stuff. But are you like, do you pay attention to global affairs? A lot of wars or anything like that?
No, I don't pay attention to that as much as I should be, but
Sure,
I mean,
sure. I mean, it's a lot. It's overstimulating.
It is, for
but
sure.
It's just this new era, the technology. You can watch live feeds of the Ukraine or Israel and all this stuff, man. So it's a lot. But I like your energy, and I feel like you keep a high frequency, and we appreciate that around here, man.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's dive into the music stuff. Speaking of high frequency.
Sure. Yeah.
So I went to that was like one of my first EDM shows that I really seen, kind of like at the barbecue spot. This.
Oh,
place.
Bauhaus.
That one, and then there's the other one. Not Beast. It's like by the
I'm
holiday.
talking Storm King. Yeah, Storm King.
bro.
Yeah.
So that was one of my first ones I might have gone to as well. But it's just like EDM. What can you tell us how it compares versus pop music, hip hop? Like, what's so special about some of the electronic dance music that I've seen you play?
For sure. I think for me it's the people, dude. Like the people that come out are so welcoming and loving, and we're all there just having a good time and dance. And with like at the Storm King one, like that's such a great that was such a great show because Backyard Boombox just does a great job of like setting up a great show and having the most talented artists I see here in the cities play at a brewery, and like people can get like barbecue food there too, and like shout out Storm King, like super good, and
what's not to love,
right, exactly, and
beer.
I love it. I think it's really just the people that make it a great crowd and a great moment that differentiates between like the genres of music such as like pop and hip hop that you're expressing. Yeah.
Because if you go to a club, it's like not the same necessarily. Like,
No.
These people a lot of people are stiff or like.
No, the energy's different just based off of the music, and that's the beauty about DJing is like you're adapting to like what the crowd is reacting to, and just trying to find the space to control that and keep the energy up, keep people dancing, so it's fun.
That's awesome.
How do you feel like this specific crowd of people, I feel like is very universal to the EDM scene, where it's a very like loving and open environment.
Yeah.
How do you think that compares to say like other environments that you've been, especially in like this city?
How it compares?
Yeah.
It compares like we're talking like style of like clothing that people are like wearing too.
Yeah.
Like we're talking just energy about how people are feeling. But every time I enter like a new space of like music, like it's all love at the same time. We're all getting together to enjoy this one thing that we do love. I'm a total stranger to you, but it's that same energy that we're just here to have a good time. So let's have
But
a good time.
I feel like EDM has a very like specific like people take care of other people. I think more so than in other environments.
Yeah,
when it comes to
absolutely.
music. And I'm speaking from a very like mild experience with it, but
Sure.
from what I understand and have seen, like that seems to be a pretty universal thing.
Absolutely.
The community aspect
Yeah.
that EDM and like raves have.
Yeah, and
is-
it just seems like everyone's just all on board to just have a great time and just support each other, you know?
Yeah, yeah, because it
Yeah.
just it feels very exclusive to that scene.
Yeah.
I feel like, which is a very like strange thing that it's
Yeah.
exclusive to that when they're actually very inclusive. But
Mhm.
yeah, I just always thought that was like really interesting. You know.
This might be like a global thing too. I thought is where you were gonna go with it. Like if you're here, Berlin, Australia, anywhere. Like if it's this kind of EDM show.
Yeah.
Right, for real. When did you first? What was your first DJ set?
My first DJ set, I didn't have a DJ board. I DJ'd like this, like spring, outside event at my high school. I went to Woodbury High School. I graduated 2017. We just had this like outdoor lunch event, and I just had a speaker connected to my computer, and I was running DJ Pro, and I was just like using my mouse pad to control the crossfader and like do these different sounds. But
Yeah.
the first time I actually played on a deck before in front of a crowd, I was in college. I went to school out in Phoenix, Arizona at Grand
Okay.
Canyon University.
Which one?
Grand Canyon
Okay.
University. So it's like West Phoenix. And during move-in week was like my birthday. I had some friends that had like a house. So they would throw like house parties, and they want to do like a welcome week / like birthday party. And I was like, that'd be
That's
awesome. Can I, DJ it? Because I mean, going to
Yeah.
parties is a great time. Sometimes it can be a not great time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just wanted to find a different outlet if we were gonna go to these shows and like these parties. Like, can I be involved in any type of way? And
You're gonna be there already.
yeah, and it was so fun. Like at that time it was 2017. I was like 18, 19,
Yeah.
and that was like the greatest time for like hip hop too, with
Bro,
like the music
just
that was coming out that
Some of
time.
Lil Uzi,
So it was just
Young
really
Thug.
fun. Yeah, like Travis came out with Astroworld, and that's
Jesus.
what I was like
Peak.
approaching with like hip hop music.
Yeah.
I mean, what DJing was hip hop music. So I bought a board and a speaker and set it up at this party and played, and everyone was having a fun time just playing the hits that were out at that time, and
Yeah.
just continued doing that. I just started playing more parties in college, and it was fun for the most part. I really
Yeah.
had a good time, and
You're
it
like
get-
this. It feels good to be that, the one that's providing those vibes and changing up how people feel.
exactly.
In an event. I've DJed
Yeah.
before, and it's a fucking good time.
It is, and it gets challenging too, just based off of like, certain song requests that people would want to hear, and making sure that does match what's going on. Because I played a song request, and
Yeah.
I've got so many heads turned at me of like, why did you play this song?
Or a
But the
room
one
f-
guy's having a good time,
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
like, that's cool.
That's
like,
why.
just feed on this and
Yeah.
this guy's
You
energy
ever play
here.
for yourself, like music that you are feeling
Yeah.
in that moment?
I
Intuition?
do, and it really just depends on like, if the crowd's gonna react with it. Just because I listen
Yeah.
to a lot of music, but I really just I want to make sure that I'm feeding the energy, because whatever music I'm giving out, whatever they're giving me back, I just recycle that into like what I'm playing.
It's
So, It's a
yeah.
constant like recycling
A
of
current,
the
right?
the
Yeah.
vibes and the music that's
I love
going on
that
right now and in
analogy.
that moment.
What,
And,
what about you, Tommy? Like, what music? When did you first fall in love with music? What got you into it as a young lad, or?
Yeah, as a young lad, I'd say I was. It was based off of curiosity, because I used to spend a lot of time at my grandma's house, and she had a lot of antiques. And one of the antiques that she had was like a trumpet. So I'd always like, it was like a brass, like really old school like trumpet. So I'd
You'd be
always like
tetanus
pick
if
it
you
up.
Cut yourself with.
Yeah, seriously. I like put it on my mouth and like try playing it. My grandma's like, no, don't do that. Like, so that just kind of sparked that. Yeah, exactly. And like, just kind of sparked that curiosity of, what is this? Like, how does this work?
How old
I-
were you?
Like, young, like super young when I was at my grandparents'
Okay.
house. Like, and I guess just singing sing songs in the car with my mom, and like what music my parents had influenced on me too.
Okay. Give us some examples.
Dude, so I'm like a huge Grateful Dead fan. So
Okay,
like
okay. Now we're
grew up
getting
listening to the Dead. My mom's like a big Norah Jones fan, so I grew up listening to Norah Jones.
Okay. Good
like
voices.
Tom Petty, Bob
Ooh, I love me some
Seger.
Tom Petty, man. I'm a
So
rock
good.
and roll guy. 70s.
Okay. Yeah, you got the
Oh,
Pink
shit.
Floyd
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
yeah. And
Oh,
Pink
shit.
Floyd too, man. Like I saw Roger Waters do like The Wall at XL like a couple years
Beautiful.
back, and it was.
I was there.
You were there too.
What a good fucking show.
Oh
man.
my god, it was
Amazing.
insane.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like I had a great time, and just like living through those experiences with my parents has like really embraced me to like understand music a little bit more. So
Yeah.
when I was young, I like picked up a guitar and played saxophone in like middle school, and
I always
gave
wanted
that
to play
up.
the sax.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's such a beautiful instrument, dude. I'm
Really?
so a sucker for it, and I wish I could just pick it up again and start playing again.
Yeah.
I think that's like, if I do, like, I would love to get to that point where just like buy one and just pick it up again. Yeah, yeah.
Discipline.
Exactly.
It's such a beautiful instrument, and you can do so much with
sexy.
it. It's sexy.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
has
It's
its
great.
own very unique voice in music.
Oh man, and it layers so cool
Yeah.
on top of like house music in general. Like I love hearing that too. There's some
That's
great
very
artists out
good.
here that play saxophone in their sets, such as Rulo and Ray. I'm forgetting his last name right now, but they both play saxophone on their sets, and it's crazy good.
Really,
So
That's
good.
sick.
Yeah, I love
seen
it.
Some of those EDM DJs just bust out. There's like a drum and a guitar
Yes.
duo. Bro, we're talking about this EDM world, right? We know that there's certain drug use in these crowds and stuff. I'm sure you're familiar.
Sure, yeah.
What's your opinion? I mean, everybody gets to do their own thing. Have you always kind of led, a sober life? Mushrooms ever in your life? We like to talk about, mushrooms being kind of a healer, kind of thing.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I've dabbled with mushrooms before. I have nothing to knock against it.
Yeah.
I don't take drugs as much, or really ever. Don't do any like uppers or anything like that.
There's a lot of chemicals out
There's a
there
lot of
before.
Yeah,
chemicals on the floor.
it's concerning. I don't
It's
knock
a
people.
biolab.
I don't knock people. Yeah, I don't knock people for doing it at all.
Be safe.
Yeah, please be
Yeah.
safe. Long story short, my dad was an actor when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So he was in a Minnesota Adult Teen Challenge when I was like 6 years old. So I've been going to like AA meetings since I was like a young kid with him, just hearing these stories. And he runs like a recovery center now, and he hosts like Tuesday night life recovery meetings for those who are like in specific like dealing with specific addictions, or like being free from and being sober from that too.
Wow. Yeah.
From like for sure. Yeah, I mean, I love it, and I love, it's so interesting to hear other people's stories of how they got out of that, and like how they've turned their whole life around. And with like when it comes to drug use in the EDM scene, I see it quite often, and it's pretty surprising and alarming. I just hope people are being safe and just having fun.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not knocking you if you do it, but that's just my taste.
That goes to like that community, like the crowd maybe being so, because it's so extreme. We're talking about the drugs, maybe it's so extreme that it has to be like everybody looking out for each other, and like, oh, somebody just fainted. It might not be any regular thing. It might be because of a powder or something.
Sure.
Untested drugs and stuff. So
Right.
the
Or like,
community really tightens up
yeah.
and helps each other out, like we were saying. But yeah.
Absolutely. I love how people are very responsive to that and like take heart in that and make
Yeah.
sure that everyone is safe. I really do appreciate it.
Small world, small city, man.
Yeah, shout out Jeff Hill, man. I love
Shout
that
out.
dude. It's awesome to
Hey.
see his life too, and like his accomplishments of where he's come from. And
I love it.
life isn't easy. Like we have our ups and downs in life, and
course.
we're humans and we make mistakes. But
Yeah.
the man that he's become and the dad that he is to me and my sister is incredible. So I'm just grateful
Yeah.
to still have him in my life.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be here.
That's one of
Yeah.
those,
So
bro.
yeah, it's crazy.
On God.
Yeah.
So like how?
But
how-
also shout out my mom too. My mom did a great job raising me too.
So how do you like? I guess a question that I have just in relation to that, like, he definitely has had a very impactful nature to a lot of different people. Do you like see firsthand, like interact with a lot of those people and like
Sure. Yeah.
get to kind of like see the transformation of a lot of different people, or
I mean,
are
like not
you-
from like the beginning. I've seen a lot of people come and go, and like people stick around for a long time, and like people just their whole life gets whole like it's a whole flip,
Yeah.
from like being on the streets to like running their own businesses.
no, absolutely,
And it's cool to see how much of an impact that my dad Jeff has made on those people.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see, and yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of those who have been through that and gotten out of it, and like seeing where they're at now. Like I said, from people who have been on the streets of like just like being addicted to drugs and now running companies and helping others too. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
no,
it makes you think like the impact that we make is bigger than we could ever imagine. So it's just important to let that light shine and continue to shift the atmosphere of each room you walk into, just being kind. You know what I mean? That's so important. It's so needed in our world, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I see how much he does that on a daily basis with the clients he works with and the people he like preaches towards and stuff like that. Yeah.
Because he also is a pastor at a church, correct?
Yeah.
Too? Yeah.
That same church where y'all
so
Colin plays and you.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, so Colin plays at North, and they just got the North Minneapolis campus this last year.
Nice.
And that's being led by Pastor Blair Alexander, and he's an incredible pastor. I love him. I have the privilege of being his photographer there too. So it's really cool to see what they're doing there. But they started in Crystal. They've been there for 12 years now, and he's going to be speaking this Sunday. If he's not speaking, then Pastor Danny Hernandez speaks there too, and he's an incredible pastor as well. So they have like a great group of pastors who like cycle throughout that like church, and it's awesome, dude. I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Be connected to all that, that high frequency, high vibration.
Yeah, and like with Colin, dude, like Colin's an incredible drummer. Like watching him play on Sundays is such a blessing, dude. And like all the there's so much talent at that church when it comes to music, and I just love seeing them worship and like using their gifts to honor God too, and it's truly incredible. So shout out all the worship teams at Serenity. Yeah.
Going back a little bit to your career, so first set like 2017 or so. So you've been at it for what, 6 years at least, DJing? Like,
I've been at it for like 6, 7 years, 8 years. Yeah.
Where do you? Talking from like a brand, like you're kind of like a brand, right? You've been getting booked. I see you on flyers, your photo, your headshot is everywhere.
Yeah.
For these sets, like how seriously do you take yourself as a public figure / this DJ that's playing all these gigs, man? Like, do you actively work? Like we were talking that you don't have a TikTok.
Yeah.
But it's like, is it just a couple headshots a year, or what level are you taking your brand to?
Sure. I think I'm constantly trying to like improve on my brand as myself, of who I am as an artist and what I represent. Mm-hmm. With that being said, I'm just unapologetically myself, and I come as myself every time. I'm not trying to like be someone that I'm not. So
to fit in or anything. Yeah, you could put on the crazy clothes and
I do, and I do, but I love it. Like I love doing that. Like I wore like a really cool like just a sleeveless sweater with like a white shirt and like a red hat that had like those flaps that come down to like cover your ears.
Oh, I have one of those.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Just trying to step outside of my comfort zone and try something new with like the fits that I wear, but something that I like, you know what I mean? I'm not doing it for someone else. I'm doing it because I like it.
Oh God. And your stage presence and everything, like, I mean, you're in a world where it's like, you kind of have to have some movement, right? And I've seen you and you're great at it.
Thank you.
The crowd control and like, it's like a workout, right? Doing a set.
Oh,
you have to go into it hyped up and like.
Yeah, dude, I get sweaty after it.
What's your ritual going into a set?
I strangely just like need to go to the bathroom, make sure I don't have to pee while I'm up there.
Strangely.
Just like I just have to go a lot. Like it's just like it's an anxiety piss. Like it really is. And it's just like, okay, let me just have this moment. So I just do that and
make sure it's clear.
But I just like it's just I constantly just remind myself
well hydrated.
I constantly just remind myself like, dude, you shouldn't be tripping. The only reason I'm nervous right now is just because I care. And but I know it's gonna go well, and if anything pops up during it, just adapt and just be comfortable. I think it's important, just like not even as an artist, but as humans, just to find comfort within the uncomfortable. That's how you grow.
Absolutely.
So I think that's the most important thing that I try to focus on when I'm doing these shows and trying to improve on myself and who I am as an artist too. So
do you pray beforehand? Is that like an essential
absolutely.
part of
I do like to pray before I go up there, and just I really just give thanks to God to like for this opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just for being here and having like breath in my lungs to like
Yeah.
do this. You
Yeah.
know, it's awesome.
I was gonna say, do you have like a specific like recited prayer that you do, or is it different every time?
It's kind of just in the moment.
In the moment?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
that's
feel
the
that.
biggest. That's one of the biggest things when it comes to spirituality, and it's just being grateful. It's like
Right.
really one of the keys. You know, I've got like 3 keys to life, but one of them is being grateful. The other
Sure.
one is to be balanced, and then what's the third one? Fuck. You should know. You should know. Be grateful, balance. I gotta look up my own TikTok to to figure it out. But
I'm done.
be grateful, bro. Like
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
every day I write thank you, God and universe, for everything, good and bad.
Yeah,
Like I try to write more sometimes, but like I try to get that in every day.
for
'Cause
sure.
There's good and bad. You know, you have black, you can't have white. You know, without black and vice versa. Like not on some racist shit. It's like a yin yang. You know about that.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, like to touch on that too, it's like
Yeah.
there's so much light and bad in like the world,
In
like,
the world, bro.
and like just throughout our lives too. But like
Yeah.
through all the good and the bad, like we wouldn't be sitting here without like and having this conversation if
And-
we didn't go through what we went through.
Exactly.
So
And like
I'm
you
grateful
s-
for it all, you
No,
know.
bro, on God.
And like when you brought up the universe, kind of just made me realize again like how small we really are.
Oh,
So like
for
our
real.
problems are really not that big. The universe
No.
is bigger. Our God is bigger. So
But I mean, we've been, you know, kind of like tamed or like manipulated a certain way to overreact maybe at certain small things or like a social media thing. It's like why
Sure.
as animals we're freaking out about
Yeah.
X, Y.
and that's
you
okay
know.
to like react to it in the moment,
Yeah.
but don't let it hold you. You know
And
what I
just
mean?
being conscious about it is very
For sure.
important. Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Heaven yeah. I've been saying heaven yeah. Whenever I say hell yeah, I go heaven yeah.
Heaven, yeah. Yep.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I was gonna before we started was gonna give you the tip of no ums or buts, like you
No
know, in
ums or
speech, but
buts?
you're really good.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
Speaking, yeah, amazingly.
Oh, I appreciate
I'm
that.
sure the listeners are loving this. Whoever's cooking right now or whatever you do when you listen
Sure.
to this podcast, there's 50 people out there.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah. We'll make sure we're gonna plug your socials in the description. We'll plug your socials for sure. We still got some time for sure. Any questions right now, Ben? Before we bring out more stuff.
You don't have any itching questions right off the bat?
I asked one of my field research guys, you know, what I would ask you, and told me to bring up if you know the history of house music in Chicago.
Oh man, I'm honestly starting to dive into that right now. There's a Instagram account that just started called Soul Exchange. You should definitely follow it because they're just tapping into the history of what house music is and where it generated. They're coming out with different reels and information of what it is, and super
cool.
informative.
Soul
And
Exchange?
Soul Exchange,
Soul
yeah,
Exchange.
super good. I don't know like the specific Instagram, ad, but super cool. Run by the homies, and like I love that they're pushing that
Yeah,
like
that's awesome.
knowledge a little bit more rather than like what we push it like the culture on social media of just like you know the party life scene of it. It's deeper than that. Like there's a
Yeah,
there's a
there's more
richness
to
to
it.
this. There's
Yeah.
an art to this, and it's beautiful.
Soulful.
But yeah, but
Well,
the
it's a lot of black music too, like a lot of the origins,
Sure.
you know, like even rock and roll stemming as far back as that, you know.
yeah, and it came from like really like the underground like gay
Yeah.
events that were going down in Chicago too. That's
Yeah.
where it really
Wow,
birthed
that's
from.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the voguing stuff too. Voguing, shout out voguing.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ben knows what that is.
I don't.
It's like runway walks and like
Yeah.
drag stuff and like
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. So I think right now I just been trying to like follow like what Soul Exchange is feeding me,
Yeah.
and also just doing my own research of what it is.
Yeah.
But
Love
it's
learning,
awesome.
man.
Yeah.
Learning is amazing. Like,
yeah, I'll forever be a student, dude.
that bro. Once people learn that, man,
Yeah.
you know, there's. Can we get into like some of? We're talking about information. You know, is there too much information? And somebody told me everything on the internet or a lot of it is like, kind of. There could be a lot of fake stuff out there. So it feels like we're blessed with all this information. I think we are more than ever. Like we know so much, but at the same time, so much of it could be manufactured, right, online.
Yeah.
So and you grew up like us in the digital. Like, do you feel like do you know any younger generations like Alpha that are like fried, like TikTok, brain rot, skibbity?
Brain rot or fried, like the younger generation.
that you've seen.
It's I just trying to like catch up as best as I can as I'm growing older, and like I see what's making like these kids laugh, and I'm like, what's going on? I don't know if it's like brain rot, but like I think social
So
media.
you're out of the scene entirely.
Yeah, I guess I know what like skibidi is and stuff like that. Like I know what that's about, but like I for myself, I'm just trying not to like brain rot myself as much with like social media engagement, because I think I've been spending a lot of time on that, and I think I'm wasting a lot of my time.
Yeah, we all do that.
Yeah, and it's superhuman. And that's just like what we're living with now. But
brand new issues that we didn't have before. You know what Tim Cook said, the CEO of Apple? He said you should be looking at somebody else in the eyes for more time than you're looking at your phone per day.
Yeah,
and it was like, damn, that's
absolutely.
It's wild for that to be coming from the person that's literally like,
bro, that's some guilt coming.
Right, from the person that's creating it.
single-handedly led the addiction with our phones.
Shout out Steve Jobs.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, but like Steve Jobs died like a long time ago.
In Mexico, we do a lot of the
Blessing.
You do that a lot. You do a lot of that.
The blessing.
Padre del Espíritu Santo.
I do it mostly if I'm on like my mom's side, because my stepdad's Catholic. So.
Okay, it's a Catholic.
Yeah.
Say it's definitely a Catholic thing, especially.
More of a Catholic.
I grew up in a non-denominational church.
Sure. Okay.
So it's like that's not anything that's remotely close to like what
Right.
You know, I grew up going to Westwood Community Church. This
cool.
is like a big church out in the like Minnetonka, Chaska, Chan area.
Sure. Yeah.
You want any ghosts?
No, I'm good.
I'm all good. Thank you, though.
Shit would,
Give me that sponsorship.
Shout out
that
Ghost.
shit would destroy me.
I've never tasted anything that tasted like candy before in my life until I had a little
just
sip of that.
It's good, bro.
That smells like a liquid Sour Patch Kid. I don't know.
Basically, is.
I don't know how you can. No, I'm good.
For energy drinks, I'm more of a yerba guy.
Yeah, yerba mate is good.
Fire. I love it.
Do you cook a lot?
I do.
What do you like to cook?
I like cooking wings.
Oh,
I make these like spicy, like lemon lime wings that are really good. I usually make them for my family on Christmas too, so we did that for Christmas this year.
Hell yeah.
So that was great. I like
Yeah.
cooking. I like cooking like pesto with like chicken and stuff like that.
Man.
Super good.
Hey, yo, what the?
Alexa, I'm talking about my turkey.
She's
my
always
chicken
she's like, I
pesto.
know.
But,
Bro, sorry to jump around the topic so much.
no, you're good.
So this is another question I had. It's like, so you saw the evolution from like the Skrillex dubstep to like a Fred again, kind of being like the most popular shit.
Yeah, kind of like what's been popular.
Yeah.
I mean, when Skrillex came out, I was in middle school, and that was
Which is
huge.
crazy. Yeah.
Like listening to like his first album on the bus
Yeah.
with my like Apple headphones that had the string on it.
Yeah.
Like I loved it. So fun.
On God, bro. So
Yeah.
what brought you from Grateful Dead to EDM? How was
I'd have to say
you fall like?
I think just
you know,
like through like what I was listening to, like through people I was meeting, specifically in college, like
that party, kind of like that frat, like you
yeah,
know.
and just like understanding a different way to approach like the decks of like instead of hip hop, how can I transition with house music?
Yes, that's what you say. You started with the
Yeah.
hip hop, and then
Yeah, which is like a totally lower BPM, and
it is.
it's more wordplay than anything.
That's
and
the
that's
world
super
I was
fun.
in.
Yeah,
when I was DJing.
and it's super fun. I love it, but
Yeah.
it's a smoother transition when you're dealing with like house music.
Beats.
Yeah, the beats of it, and it's really fun. And just kind of just being introduced to different music through experiences. I think I learned a lot more about house music and EDM music through going to those shows.
Okay.
I think those shows allow you to embrace the music a little bit more and like relate to it. Create more of an experience rather than just listening. It makes it more special in that way.
Type shit. So you were attracted to that.
Yeah. I was really put on to a lot of great artists through mutual friends and just through like the playlist that they would send to me, and kind of just like sparked my inspiration to just dive deeper into it.
And
like
then you build
find-
your own playlist and everything.
Exactly.
Have you done much production yourself?
Yeah, I've done like a little production and still trying to grow in that as well. So
Sick. Ableton or
Ableton, I am studying it.
Okay,
I think
good,
it's very complicated for me, and
It is
sometimes I get
intense,
like
yeah.
too frustrated. I'll just walk away from the software in
Oh,
general.
Rage
I'm
quit.
sure you know how that goes sometimes,
Bro,
like
for
with like
real.
dealing with different softwares such as like editing and stuff. But,
Everything, bro.
you know, it's a process. You know, and
Yeah,
everything's
yeah.
a process, but it just depends on like how much time you want to put into it. As of right now, life has just been pretty chaotic and busy. And
Yeah.
I would love to invest more time into that this new year. So I'm
Right,
really
right,
excited
right.
for that. So
What's
Yeah.
a tip you would give to our listeners as far as like your discipline and your mantra, your philosophy? How would you give a certain tip to listeners that might be whether struggling or just looking for a more positive outlook on their life?
mm, I would say sometimes your mind wants to play tricks on you and tells you that you're not good enough and that you won't be able to make it, or maybe it's the people that don't believe in you, but it's you are so much bigger than that, and the impact that you make is bigger than you could ever imagine. So if you truly care about something, um, just invest some time into it. It doesn't have to be like an hour a day, or it could be like 5 minutes, just like growing that passion of what you want to do, and just continue to feed that, and you'll see the results. And it just takes time, but just stay confident and and just remain
Patience.
confident and
Patience.
find the comfort within the uncomfortable, because that's just how you grow.
That might be the name of the episode.
Find comfort in
I'm
the
gonna write it
uncomfortable.
down so I don't forget.
Oh, that's a great, just like phrase. Find comfortable.
Bro,
Yeah,
swear
find
by
comfort
God.
within the uncomfortable.
Find comfort.
That's something
in
I've
the
been like
uncomfortable.
living off of for quite a while.
Yeah, that's
Learn
a
from
good
the
one.
homies, and
Yeah.
I think it's also important to like kind of go back to what I was saying in the beginning too, just for the listeners, like don't worship the worry,
Don't worship
'Cause that's
the
just-
worry.
Don't worship the worry, because then they're just worshiping the
crazy.
problem,
Yes.
Just worship where you're at, and like
Anxiety hates him.
yeah. Dude, I got anxiety too. Like, I mean, it gets me in my head. Like, it's
Yeah.
terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I hate it. And
It's funny because I was talking with some of my coworkers about this. Just like we are the generation of like hyper anxiety, and it stems from like all the different substances that we've like consumed now, like whether it's nicotine, like our phone, weed, alcohol. Keep going with the list. But like. Or even just like the random food that we now consume that has probably been more like hyper genetically modified than ever and processed than
Sure.
any other time in history. So it's like we've have these anxieties, I think, that stem from all these different like chemical imbalances of what we consume and like unnatural things. Like the fact that you have to put like no artificial colors or like natural flavors in something is insane kind of
Yeah.
to like think about, So it's like I feel like
This is the good shit, man. Nah, there's a bunch
you're a
of
big fan of the Ghost, and I love that.
Bro, it's too strong. I'm like,
yeah, you're
Legitimately.
wired. It's like crack.
it is like crack.
Yeah, you're just like
I'm
this.
sorry, can we move this cup?
This one here?
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, no worries. Absolutely.
But yeah, I just feel like we all have just become so much more anxiety driven than before, and that's I've been on Lexapro, I've been on like other anti-anxiety medications, and
Not anymore.
not anymore. No.
Yeah, I've been through that process too.
There's a certain threshold where you're just like I feel nothing, and
medication.
with the medication, and it's not like your trade off is like any better than if you are off it sometimes. So.
I mean, I get it, dude. Like, times get tough, bro. Like, I've been in those dark places, and I'm grateful to come from those dark places too. It's helped me become stronger and a better person. But
Yeah.
I don't forget where I came from. You know what I mean? And the help that I could give to others is really awesome to see too.
Yeah.
So just, and I have my days. Sometimes I swing high, and some days I swing low. And the low days can swing really low.
So how do you help others? You just expand on that a little bit. If somebody's like coming to you and are you just hitting them with your tagline, or are you just
No, I'm just hearing them out, dude.
You're just hearing them out?
letting them vent and like just understand like what's going on with them, and I think just constantly reminding them how great they are,
Yeah.
and like kind of like what we're talking about the universe, like we are so small, dude.
Yeah.
But there's so much other things going on, and like we're in the speck of things, and honestly, like God is bigger than all of our problems. So I think that's just something to keep in mind, even if like the person I'm talking to isn't a believer, just reminding them that like they're here for a reason, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity to know them within my own life too. You know, so just speaking life into them is just the biggest thing. Not trying to hit them with too many like corny like questions, but like just keeping it real and just hearing them out, like, or just I don't know. I don't want to be this person that's too much on them, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, you never know how much you can impact somebody's life. You know?
Sure.
Somebody might have never heard, anything that you've said, like, from anybody. So it's like you're being even the first person. I was talking to my mom, like, because I just heard about these, like, 13-year-olds or 12-year-olds that don't have any direction or have never been, the parents haven't given them that good, like, ground rules or, like, advice for life, basic stuff, that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that, big brother, big sister programs and stuff. I think something I've kind of started getting some interest in doing and affecting kids at that age and like giving them, some of this knowledge that we've been able to pick up over the years. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
Dude, appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
Where are we? Let's finish up maybe on some of the music stuff. I forgot what I was gonna ask you, man. Do you have any music questions? We were talking about Grateful Dead, everything that you like.
Yeah, shout out the Grateful Dead, man. Shout out Dead and Company too.
Have you seen a lot of those shows? What's like some of your favorite concerts that you've been to and stuff?
Man, I've been going to Dead shows since I was 11. So I started seeing like I was born after Jerry Garcia like passed away, so I never saw Jerry Garcia.
Yeah.
But I saw Further, which was like Bob Weir's band they had with a couple artists. I think Mickey Hart was in it too. And then they started doing the Dead and Company tours with like John Mayer, Bob Dylan. Sorry, I'm just thinking about that new. Yeah, I'm just thinking about that new movie. I really want to see it. But no, Bob Weir. Yeah, he was all over the place. But yeah, Bob Weir. But I've been seeing those shows around like the country with my dad because he loves going to them.
Any in Colorado?
Did you go to the Dome?
I did not. Like the Boulder one.
No. The Vegas one.
Oh, the Sphere.
Yeah.
I did go to the Sphere. I went this last year.
So did you see them?
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, you got to go to the Sphere.
For real?
It's awesome. It's one of the most.
Worth it?
Yes, like it's one of the most amazing concert experiences I've ever had in my life, and there was not like a bad seat like anywhere. And I just saw that like Enema's doing like the end of Genesis shows that just started yesterday, and they look incredible. So that's like the first dance concert they threw at the Sphere.
Really?
Yeah, so they're just really cool. So he's doing the New Year's one at the Sphere. So now the homies are going out there. Yeah, I mean, if you ever have an artist that wants to play at the Sphere, or is going to play at the Sphere, like definitely buy the ticket.
Check them out.
It's great,
Fly
and
out
Vegas
and
is fun too.
Oh yeah, Vegas is
for a good
Vegas.
time, not a long time. It's pretty expensive, but
exactly 48 hours in Vegas.
Exactly. You just you're gonna spend a couple thousand on the tickets for the Sphere, but then you just like
$1,000?
I'd say like
Christ.
1,500, and then like you just like make that money back on gambling and roulette.
Dude, exactly. Roulette. Shout out Roulette. We were talking about how we are both fans of Roulette.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I need to see the marble though.
Gotta see the marble.
Not
Fuck that
electronical.
computer shit.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
Yo,
I need to see the marble.
going back,
Yes.
the Bible. What does the Bible teach, in your opinion? From what I've seen, it teaches like some morality, right? Kind of like ways to maybe live your life or live a certain way, like Christ, etc. So what can you teach us? Maybe of some lessons.
From the Bible?
Yeah, or like overarching lessons, or maybe
Sometimes I feel like I'm still a student when it comes to the Bible, so I'm still just trying to learn as much as I possibly can. But it's just a great book of stories, and you could pick it up and read this verse that you've read before, and based off of the season that you're in, it could represent something totally different to you the second time you read it.
That's crazy part.
I think like one of my favorite verses is like Luke 21:19, and it just says like, stand firm and you'll gain life. And I think that's like really important,
That's fire.
And I think there's like a lot of good messages that you can like gravitate towards the Bible, like what it's talking about, like relationships, or like when you're feeling depressed, or when
it really
you're
covers
feeling
all
lost,
Yeah.
It really depends on like
How you interpret it too.
like what you are trying to dive into. But it's a crazy book, and I'm still just trying to study it and understand it a little bit more.
I think it's one of the best-selling books, if not of the world. I think it's the #1 selling book.
Sure. Yeah.
But what do you think anybody can be forgiven? What did you think about Kanye West in his Jesus is King era? Are you
I
a
loved
fan?
it. I thought it was awesome.
It was a great record.
It was a great record, and I was a bigger fan of Jesus is Born, which is like just the Sunday service choir
That was
singing
insane.
like
Yeah.
different hymns or like Kanye songs that he's done in the past.
That'd be a good show, man. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever get that again, you know?
No, probably not.
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to see it in Arizona. He played
Joking,
at
really?
ASU's football stadium.
Wild.
And like that's like a stadium that's like built into the mountains, super cool.
Whoa, that probably sounded great.
yeah,
Have you been to Red Rocks, I'm sure?
I have been to Red Rocks.
Okay,
I've been to
so-
Red Rocks 3 times. I saw Bob Weir play there and the Wolf Bros. I saw Jason Isabel play there, and then I saw Minneapolis's Hippocampus headline.
Oh, yeah, shout out.
I
We
love
DeCarlo.
Hippocampus, dude. Shout out to
homie.
Carlo.
Shout out. You
Shout
know,
out to
bro?
oh yeah, I know,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
He just played at Berlin
Were you
last
there?
week. No, I wanted to go
I wanted
so
to.
bad.
We're just
but-
down the, yeah.
yeah, I think that was like last Thursday, and like
I was
you know,
trying to go. I think I was locked in or something, but yeah.
yeah, I was.
trying to
I
go.
had some plans with some homies, but like, I like just, like, I think he like posted, and I just said like, have a great show. So he's a
good.
great trumpet player, dude. Every time I get like
Shout out to
an
the guy.
opportunity to hear him play is such a treat. So
Span,
just-
you can never get enough. You could just, if he plays weekly,
Yeah.
one of the bands, you know, one of the many bands that he's in. It's like,
Oh, for
it's tough
sure.
to catch.
But yeah, Hippocampus is a great time, man. Like they've made a huge impact. They're
What a
probably like,
success story too.
yeah, they're probably on my Mount Rushmore of like artists and bands, which is like my top 4 that I would carve into stone that like
Yeah,
describes
yeah.
me. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay. I feel that,
So
I feel
yeah,
that.
Hippocampus is up there for sure.
Shout out that, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
God.
So what's the other 3?
Of my Mount Rushmore
Yeah.
music, so it's Hippocampus, Tyler the Creator,
Okay.
Dead and Company, just to get like that John Mayer aspect of the Dead in there, because his vocals on those songs are
Yeah.
so good, and Kevin Parker from Tame Impala.
Kevin Parker, of course.
Yeah, super good.
That's a pretty good range of people all right
yeah.
there.
How would you be able to name your Mount Rushmore of music?
Oh no, I could never.
It's a hard
King Cruel.
question.
King Cruel.
I mean, like King Cruel always like comes
Oh, fuck.
back, but like
That's
I
his twin.
yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah?
is my twin. But like I always am somebody that like my music taste is just constantly changing, evolving, and
Yeah.
what I'm into, and I mean I still am very consistent with the people that I've always loved and everything else. But I think
Sure.
I hate just like boxing it into like
Yeah.
just that, you know, just a couple.
It's kind of hard to find new music sometimes. I feel like it is a fact that a majority of streams, I think like 70% is back catalog, which is music that came out 5 years ago. So it's like new music does take a while to get into the zeitgeist.
For sure.
Have you guys heard of the like Spotify controversy going on right now?
Which one?
No.
There's so many.
I mean, there's a lot of them, but how they were creating like these fake accounts
Oh wow.
and like artists, and then like essentially like grouping these artists into like certain playlists that would like boost this like music. So there was like literally unknown artists that were getting like hundreds of millions of streams,
Jesus.
but are essentially taking the royalties away
Yeah.
from actual real
The
artists.
owners of Spotify of those accounts.
Correct.
I think-
Yeah.
And this has been going on. This has been going on for years. It's crazy. They're low key very evil in the Spotify.
For sure.
So yeah,
Those big
I
numbers.
love the interface of Spotify. That's my
Wow.
problem. Is like the
Yeah.
the interface of Spotify is fantastic. The UI, everything is great. Everything else about it sucks. It fucking sucks. Like
Yeah.
there's no redeeming qualities of Spotify as of
Yeah.
now. And it sucks because I also
don't pay artists.
I also pay for Apple Music, and I like Apple Music more because it's one, you get lossless audio. It sounds incredibly better. Like
Right.
it's
They pay a
it's
little better.
they do pay a little better. Like it is like night and day though. Like the sound quality. I mean, it's like
supposed to be better on Apple, right?
it's
is.
literally night and day. Like the entire like mixing, the mastering, everything. You can hear the difference if you were to play it like side by side.
Oh, for sure, because it has that Dolby like sound
Atmos,
production.
supposedly
Yeah, the
goes to
Atmos.
it.
Yeah.
But
And
It has
if
to
you
be
play it on
mixed to
specific
hit that,
speakers.
though.
Yeah,
that's
but
true,
that's not the lossless audio.
Yeah, it's two
That's
different
that's two different things. Like
Sure.
the Dolby Atmos, that's just like trying to create like a
The 8K.
atmosphere, you know, like
And if you have the right speakers, dude, like
Yeah.
you will hear it. 'Cause I
Oh,
got a
no,
homie that has it. And it's
absolutely.
like I was blown away. I was like, this is crazy.
no,
Like,
it's
It's a whole different listening.
it
experience.
sounds insane, but it's not the lossless audio because like the lossless audio, that's on a whole different playing field.
That's like IMAX, the Atmos stuff. It's like 8 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My producer homie was just telling me it's just like the 8 points of sound. And then
That's one of the
headsets. You move your head and then.
yeah, that's one of the
Sure.
benefits of
Yeah.
Logic, because it's like in Logic you can completely mix in Dolby Atmos.
Yeah. Only like Mike Dean does it though.
Yeah, Mike
Yeah.
Dean's like the only motherfucker that does
Yeah.
it. But yeah,
Have you heard any of the Mike Dean solo records?
I haven't. No,
Okay.
I'll have to
just
put
heard
on
a
to
little bit
those.
Yesterday.
Okay.
Heard a little.
yeah, he's got one. I think it's literally just called 420.
Yeah, that's the first.
Oh,
one.
yeah,
It just
yeah,
goes
yeah.
like 21, 22. And he's got one with all the weekend stuff.
Yeah, basically it's like if you listen to any Kanye song, if you listen to anything, just take out Kanye or anything else. It's just like that.
He's got a lot of crazy, just like a minute of synth, and it's just like it's too loud and it's crazy. But shout out Mike Dean for that.
Hell yeah.
It's actually insane. I don't know how familiar you are with like his like process, but he needs like the most highest level like CPUs to
Okay.
handle his music because
Yeah.
they're so like layer heavy that like it would overload any other computer.
Right.
So like usually he'll like if he presses play, like it'll buffer.
The Mike Dean.
Yeah, with like how much like how dense like the sounds are being like routed through all these different buses and everything else to like make that.
I like that he plays like the live shows. You know, he'll just
Yeah.
be smoking and shit. Are you a big smoker or not really?
I dabble a bit, but like
Dabble.
not as much. Yeah.
Yeah. With life and all that.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Well, shit, man. I mean, we should get some rapid fire before we wrap up here.
For sure.
And let me think. Favorite color?
Navy blue.
Fire. I like your outfit.
Thank you.
Hell
I
yeah.
appreciate it.
On God.
I have
The
blue
color,
eyes,
man.
and every time I wear this, like fit, kind of makes them look green.
Especially
So
with
I
these
love how it does
lights
that.
in studio, almost
Yes.
spicy podcast, man.
I love the sun.
Dude, I
so
appreciate
far.
you, bro. Dude, so it's 2025, man. A lot of
2025.
gigs. You're just gonna be partying, kegs and eggs.
Kegs and eggs. Yeah, I have
Dave-
kegs and eggs coming up.
First day of the year. I don't know if
First
this will
day
be
of the
out.
year.
This won't be out, but it'll be great. The
Yeah,
kegs and
that's
eggs.
at Cowboy Jack's.
What time's
downtown
your set that
Minneapolis.
day?
To be determined.
Okay.
We'll let you know. Yeah,
Bro,
but
let
I'm
me
also-
know, bro. I'm gonna be in that. It's like $20 or something, I think. 25
Yeah,
maybe.
it
to
should be a
get
really
in.
good time. A lot of
Dude.
really great talented DJs are on that list. So like, I'm super excited to see everyone play and
Yeah.
just have a good time.
They
just
give
celebrate
eggs
the new
and
year.
beer. Do you know, or you don't know? You've never been.
I've never been before,
Okay.
but I hear
think
great
they
things.
provide though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard they're doing like a onesie contest. So
Oh,
like,
God.
if you come in like a onesie.
American culture, I love it.
Yeah.
Are you,
so-
were you born in Minnesota?
Yeah, born and raised.
Okay,
I kind
gotcha,
of grew up
gotcha.
around the Twin Cities, so just kind of. But I graduated from Woodbury High School.
Okay, got you.
Yeah,
got
yeah.
You. So you seen some from my generation, like the Spooky Black, like Bobby Raps.
Shout out, yes, so good. I grew up on those guys. Yes, super good.
Yeah.
Spooky Black,
Corbin.
Alan Kingdom, Finding Novion.
All those cats, yeah,
dude,
yeah.
like, dude, Novion's
He's in
so
LA, I
fire.
think.
I remember seeing him at Soundset with Alan
musician.
Kingdom when they came out and did Lots, and I was like one of the greatest
God,
performances
bro.
I've ever seen ever.
Yeah.
So fun. Shout out Soundset. That was such a great.
Shout out Sunset, man.
What a great way to like celebrate the beginning of summer when I was in high school.
We miss
dude.
it, bro. The nostalgia's crazy. It must have been 2016.
when Finding
15
Novion was
maybe.
there.
Might have been 15.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, because I think I was a junior. Yeah, that year. It was awesome. And then I remember Post Malone played like the same.
small stage, bro.
Yeah, and it was like impossible to get in.
It was, bro, I was at that
it was-
shit. It was crazy.
It was wild. I couldn't even get in. Like it was
Yeah.
crazy. But that was like the beginning of like when he came out with White Iverson. So it was huge.
Bro,
but I
it
wish they
was
put him on
huge.
the big stage. But you
They
know.
didn't know though. He wasn't
Yeah,
like
he was.
big yet.
Yeah, that was awesome though. That was a great time.
That shit was
Also,
great.
shout out DJ Tip. One of the reasons
We
why.
might cut that out. No, I'm just kidding.
Huh? You said what?
No. We don't have beef. It's nothing. We'll
Sure.
cut all this out.
Yeah, I haven't met him personally, but like I love his like DJ style and like what he does. It's crazy, dude. Like
There's controversial things. That's
Sure.
Right.
Truth be told, like half the people we mentioned from like
Are controversial. Hey, but
Sure.
a lot of, I mean, when we talk about controversy, it's always like, everybody was controversial, man.
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Lennon, you
Yeah.
know, controversial. Bob Marley.
But to be fair, this specific instance, they're controversial because they're like people that we actually.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Sure.
that's different.
Gotcha.
why it's like,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, but yeah, shout out to Minneapolis, Minnesota, St.
So
Paul.
many talented artists out here,
Dude,
dude.
on God.
It's
a lot of bands
crazy.
and everything.
Is there any like artists that you guys have discovered within this last year from here?
From here, started working with this singer locally. Who's a girl. Her name's Amore. So like mostly just people that have been working with.
Didn't
Like,
she just like follow the account?
did she?
Now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I was saying.
But there's a lot of, man, I don't know. I'm trying to think. You got anybody?
I would say Gully Boys.
Oh, you
What was that?
discovered?
Gully Boys.
Gully Boys.
band.
Okay.
Yeah, they're super good,
Fun.
super
Okay.
talented.
Rock and roll. Is
Rock and roll, the super punk, like
Hell
just
yeah.
a group of like what, four girls,
yeah,
like
yeah. I don't know if they all identify. That way.
yeah, but like
Or
femmes, yeah,
etc.
but like they go so fucking hard,
Rock
like
harder than some of the guys.
oh, absolutely. I would say them for sure.
Sick.
That's
Heck yeah.
badass. Yeah. What about you? Like local, like new finds.
New finds this year. I have to say, like, the homie Alboa has been having the craziest year with like what he's been producing music wise. He does a lot of like Latin house, and it's
Ooh.
awesome. Like super fun to like listen to and play.
Yeah.
And I have like when I have an opportunity to play his music, I will take it like at one of my shows.
Hell yeah.
And it's
Heaven yeah.
just a fun time. Like the music he's making is super fun. He's
the name?
he's not headlining. He's opening the New Year's Eve show at the Armory this year.
Dang.
So big shout out to Alboa for doing that. That's
What's
awesome.
the name?
Lucid Nice.
Lucid Nights, or the artist that you're
The
talking
artist
about?
Alboa.
Alboa. Okay,
Yeah.
sick. Shout out.
Yeah,
Dude, that's badass.
he's the man. He is the
Shit,
man.
dude. Well, 2025, man. I feel like stage is gonna get rocked, and it's just like keep going.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can all be on the stage too, party, maybe throw a show or some shit. We'll
Yeah,
have you
that'd be super
headline.
fun. Heck
Hell
yeah.
brother.
I'm excited to see like what's to come with this next year.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's gonna really look like. Maybe I'll be like really present. Maybe I'll just disappear and you guys won't see me. And then
No, so you're
and
like,
then
"Where
you'll
is
see
he?"
me a month later and you'll be like, oh, yep, for
There's-
sure.
My last question is: have you played internationally?
I've not played internationally, like
Not
different
yet.
countries.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I haven't played any different countries. I played in Milwaukee this year, and that was super fun.
Different county. No, that's
Milwaukee,
That's badass, though.
Milwaukee is awesome, dude.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I loved like the energy that was out there, and
They
met some
got
really great
chaotic
artists.
energy, bro. We were in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
man. I'll just tell you quick, bro. We seen a car crash, explode,
Oh, wow.
and then we seen 15 minutes later, we seen a biker get hit and just like lay there.
Oh, motherfucker was dead.
He was
Their-
dead?
Their head was exploded on the pavement.
That's fucked. I didn't look that hard,
That's
bro.
terrible.
Milwaukee's, yeah, it was terrible.
Oh man,
We were.
It's-
I kid you not. We were there for less than 12 hours. Like,
Yeah,
oh, just in and out, kind of.
We performed
okay.
real quick. Yeah.
Oh,
We
okay.
did a little tour. Yeah.
So much shit. Yeah, that car exploded. It was funny. 'cause
Car exploded, bro.
That car, it literally
Right in front of our Airbnb.
right in front of our Airbnb. So like it was on a bridge, like basically bridge over like
overpass.
an overpass, and
Crash.
two intersection lights, and the middle was like the bridge essentially.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, this car had swerved into one of the light posts, and it had wrapped around the light post. So at first, no flames, no nothing, whatever. We
step back out.
we go into the Airbnb. We're like chilling. I'm like, all right, I want to get some air for whatever reason. I go out. I see literally 20-foot flames erupting from where that car was.
Dude.
Like not even like this. Keep in mind, this is not even like 5 minutes after we passed this.
Yeah.
So it was just like, what the fuck is going on? And we had on our way to the show.
Venue. So we're like, okay, car on fire, and then boom, we see that tragic.
Yeah.
I don't
Wow.
know if he died. You saw brains?
Oh, that head was exploded on the pavement, dude.
Wow. When was this?
This was 6 years ago.
2018.
2018.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you
Yeah.
ever wanted like to tour?
I dream of it, dude. I love it.
It's a dream,
I
right? As a
don't-
musician.
Yeah, I had the homies that have been on tour. I understand like it's like pretty draining just be on the road like that, but
It's a labor
what a
of
cool
love.
yeah, what a cool experience to like see like the country in that kind of way, doing something that you love, and
Yeah.
hopefully I get to a point where I could do that for myself too,
happen.
and just have a good
It'll
team
happen.
around me that does that with me. So, yeah, man.
It'll happen, man.
For
Tommy
sure.
Hill, man. I appreciate you for coming on here.
Oh, for sure. Thank
For
you guys
real.
for having me.
Of course,
You
man.
guys have
I think
been
we'll
great
wrap up.
hosts, and it's a great space, man.
Dude. Hell yeah,
Honored
we'll have
to
to
be
have you
here.
on again, man.
For sure.
Francisco, DJ back on my bullshit band. We got Tommy Hill. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Peace, love, positivity.
Follow Tommy.
Yes, Tommy Hill. It's T Hill 22
T Hill.
on Instagram.
Let's go. Get the
Any
links in.
any last words of advice? Just to look into the ether and tell the people.
Mm.
He gave a lot of
Be smart and be safe and just be kind to people, I'd say.
You heard it here first. All right. Peace.
Peace.